Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a longer term market update for EGLD. We're going to cover the most recent breakdown, taking out the lows from back here in June. We'll cover some key levels of support and resistance, as well as EGLD's performance with respect to Bitcoin by looking at the EGLD Bitcoin ratio. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, I will leave a link to my Twitter page in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and check that out as well. I am fairly active over there. So I do want to start off here on the weekly chart for EGLD and most importantly, discuss this level of support that has started to break over the last few weeks, which is this level right around $38 to $41. And this was the level of support and the lows from back here in June. If I go over here to a daily time frame, you can see that area acted as strong support on this first leg down, this massive capitulation. EGLD found support off this level and then had a pretty decent sized bounce. From that point, it actually rallied by about 84% in just the following 2 months. And we also had a bit more retest right here in November. Ultimately, though, we got that breakdown in the last few weeks. So now that we've breached this level on the weekly chart and we're starting to see that confirmation closing under this and getting us down below that level, the next level of support further down from here is going to be this level right around $22.50. This was the resistance that held back here in the summer months of 2020. Ultimately, we had a pretty big rejection off that point. From the candle close, EGLD declined by about 65% from that point of resistance. So historically, that level right around $22 to $23 is a very important region that we might expect buyers in demand to start to step in, being strong resistance back here in the beginning of the bull market. Now, beyond that, we have the resistance at these two weekly moving averages. The red one is the 20 SMA, and then the green one is the 21 EMA. We've been covering this as a band of resistance for EGLD throughout this entire bear market. We basically just had this breakdown right here in December of 2021, and ever since then, EGLD has had many rejections off this level. We had this first retest right here in February, coming up to that level, rejecting, coming back down. Same attempt right here in March. Ultimately, we formed lower lows and rolled over following those two attempts. And then we also saw this rejection right here in the end of October, coming up to that level again and having that same pattern where we come back down to retest the support, and now we're breaking down and rolling over. So watch to see if EGLD does get another retest of these weekly moving averages into the coming months. As any time EGLD has had a retest of that level, it has been a very defining moment for what's to come, given these very strong and sharp rejections. That's the follow through we've seen where we break down and form lower lows. So on an event where maybe we get back up to that level and we do see another rejection, we could expect the same pattern to play out where potentially that could bring us down to this support at $22. Or instead, if we're actually able to break above it and have something different play out, that could be one of the signs that we might be starting to end and break this longer term downtrend, or at the very least end its momentum, to which we might have some sort of accumulation or consolidation for several more months. So I also do want to talk about EGLD's performance with respect to Bitcoin by looking at the EGLD Bitcoin ratio pair. And with this, we just had this longer term range, this consolidation period with the support, the range lows right around 230,000 Satoshis, and then the resistance at the range highs around 300,000 Satoshis. So overall, it was a pretty tight range in consolidation. And over the last few days, we have seen a breakdown of that support at the range lows of 230,000 Satoshis, where we've come back down, we formed a lower low, and we've breached the support that's held on all of these retests. We held this as support right here in June. We also had several more retests throughout July. Again, right here, August, September, and then again, we have had that breakdown over the last few days and the last few weeks where we're no longer holding that zone. We're coming back down and we're starting to form lower lows. So at this point, the next longer term target I have will be the support at 170,000 Satoshis. That was the support that held all the way back here on the June lows. And if I zoom out here all the way, you can see that that was a major pivot point for EGLD, where it basically had a pretty significant reversal and a pretty significant bounce following this very steep downtrend that began ever since November of 2021. So the outlook into the next few weeks with the EGLD Bitcoin ratio would potentially be some sort of retest where maybe we start to come back up to that zone If we flip that into resistance, then I would expect some continuation back down to there, where I would expect buyers and demand is most likely start to step in. And this would just mean that EGLD continues to underperform Bitcoin, which is actually something that we're seeing with many other altcoins. And if I just go over here to the Bitcoin dominance, that is really just kind of illustrating the strength by Bitcoin and the relative weakness by the altcoin market, where Bitcoin has been gaining that market share. And I do expect this to continue. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out my Twitter page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.